the garden that outperformed the pharmacy. A garden herb was tested head-to-head against a prescription anxiety medication in a peer-reviewed clinical trial. The results? Comparable effectiveness. No sedation, no dependency risk. And that's not even the most surprising thing on today's list. One of these plants contains a compound that binds to the exact same brain receptor as Valium. Another has a molecule that 2025 research used to reverse Alzheimer's markers in the lab. A third has been in active use for wound care since Alexander the Great was running military campaigns. 7 plants, all of them growable at home, on a windowsill, a balcony, a small garden patch. All of them carrying active chemistry that modern science has now confirmed. We're covering what's inside each one, the history behind it, and exactly how to prepare it yourself. No equipment, no guesswork. Just practical knowledge you can start using this week. Let's start with the one that's probably already in your house, and almost certainly being underused. Aloe vera, the immortality plant. The ancient Egyptians called it the plant of immortality, not because it was mystical, but because of what they consistently observed it doing to infected wounds and damaged skin. Alexander the Great later reportedly captured a coastal island just to secure aloe supplies for his army's wound care. That's not mythology. That's military logistics driven by a plant. Slice open a leaf and you find 2 layers, a yellowish outer latex with laxative compounds, and an inner gel making up about 98.5% of the leaf by weight. The gel holds acemannan, a polysaccharide that activates macrophages, the cells your body sends in to fight infection and repair tissue. It accelerates wound healing, reduces inflammation, and shows antimicrobial activity against bacteria, including Staphylococcus aureus and E. coli. The plant also carries aloin and aloemodin, both with documented anti-inflammatory activity for skin conditions, for sunburn to psoriasis. To grow, bright indirect light, fast-draining sandy soil, water every 2 to 3 weeks. Never let it sit in standing water. To use, snap off a lower leaf, rinse off the outer latex, slice it open, and scoop out the clear gel. Apply directly to burns, cuts, or irritated skin, or stir a tablespoon into water for digestive support. Research confirms that 3-year-old plants have the highest acemannan concentrations of all. Peppermint, the clone that conquered medicine. Every peppermint plant in the world is a clone. A sterile hybrid between watermint and spearmint, it cannot reproduce by seed. Humans have been passing it garden to garden for over 3,000 years. Dried leaves have turned up in Egyptian tombs dating back over 3,000 years before the modern era. The key compound is menthol. It activates cold-sensing receptors in the body without actually lowering your temperature. That cooling sensation is entirely neurological. The most well-known medical story is in the gut. Multiple clinical reviews confirm that enteric-coated peppermint oil capsules are an effective short-term treatment for irritable bowel syndrome. The menthol relaxes smooth muscle in the gastrointestinal tract, reducing spasms and relieving abdominal pain. Menthol is also a documented decongestant, shrinking swollen nasal membranes and helping clear airways. That's why it shows up in every cough drop and chest rub on the market. The plant also contains menthone, shown in research to inhibit pro-inflammatory molecules. Planted in containers, it spreads underground and will take over a bed. Moist, rich soil, partial to full sun, harvest before it flowers. For tea, steep 1 tablespoon of fresh leaves for 5 to 10 minutes. For headaches, crush fresh leaves and press against your temples. For digestion, a strong cup after meals is one of the most evidence-backed uses on this list. Up next, a kitchen herb that ancient scholars wore on their heads while studying. Modern science just confirmed they were onto something real. Rosemary, the memory herb. Ophelia's line in Hamlet, "There's rosemary, that's for remembrance," wasn't poetic license. Ancient Greek and Roman scholars wore rosemary while studying, convinced it sharpened memory. Modern science dismissed this for centuries. Then researchers looked at what's actually in the plant. Rosemary contains two compounds that cross the blood-brain barrier: carnosic acid and rosmarinic acid. In animal studies, extracts standardized to 60% carnosic acid significantly improved learning and memory. Then, in 2025, researchers at Scripps Research synthesized a stable form of carnosic acid. They called it diaca, and tested it in Alzheimer's mouse models. It increased synapse count, reduced amyloid beta proteins, and decreased neuroinflammation. Human trials are now being planned. Grow it in full sun, lean soil, and minimal water. It produces more active compounds when slightly drought-stressed, meaning more care is often worse. Overwatering is the most common mistake. For tea, steep a 4-inch sprig for 8 minutes. For hair density, work cooled rosemary tea through your scalp after washing. A 2023 study found it performs comparably to 2% minoxidil without the scalp irritation. Next, a plant tested head-to-head against a prescription anxiety medication. The results were not what most people would expect. Lavender, the prescription in your garden. A clinical trial compared a standardized oral lavender extract against lorazepam for generalized anxiety disorder. The lavender extract performed comparably. No sedation, no dependency. Its two active compounds, linalool and linaloyl acetate, work together. They inhibit voltage-gated calcium channels in the nervous system. They reduce serotonin receptor activity, and they raise parasympathetic tone, the nervous system state that governs rest and recovery. A systematic review of nearly 1,000 participants found 10 out of 11 trials reported significantly reduced anxiety after lavender inhalation alone. The World Health Organization formally recognizes it for relieving stress, restlessness, and anxiety. The Romans added it to baths and wounds, and the word lavender is thought to derive from the Latin lavare, meaning to wash. Grow it in full sun with lean, well-draining soil. Rich soil dilutes its active oils. For sleep, tuck a muslin bag of dried flowers inside your pillowcase. For anxiety, diffuse 8 to 10 drops for 30 minutes. For irritated skin, infuse dried flowers in warm coconut oil for 2 hours, strain, and apply directly. A 2015 study found it improved sleep quality in postnatal mothers within 2 weeks of consistent use. The next plant had the opposite problem: oversold, dismissed, then quietly vindicated. Before we get to the final 3 plants, and the science in these last ones is genuinely some of the most interesting in the whole video, take a second and subscribe if you haven't already. We cover natural health, herbal medicine, and evidence-backed home remedies every week. Now let's keep moving, because chamomile is next, and the compound inside it just earned serious attention from longevity researchers. Chamomile, nature's Valium. Chamomile flowers are one of the richest natural sources of a compound called apigenin on the planet. Roughly 840 milligrams per 100 grams of dried flower. Apigenin binds to benzodiazepine receptors in the brain, the same receptors Valium targets. Not with the same intensity, but through the same mechanism. It also inhibits an enzyme that degrades NAD+, a molecule at the center of current longevity research. The bedtime tea your grandmother made was doing more than either of you knew. For growing, choose German chamomile over Roman. It's the annual variety and the medicinal standard. Direct sow in well-draining soil after the last frost. It self-seeds prolifically, so plant it once and it tends to return. Harvest when the petals fold back toward the stem. That's the apigenin peak. For tea, steep 2 teaspoons of fresh flowers or 1 teaspoon of dried for 5 minutes. Drink it 30 minutes before bed. For skin irritation, let a strong brew cool completely and apply as a compress. The next plant was once called a cure-all. Then science dismissed it, and then had to come back and defend it. Echinacea, the immune regulator. Native American tribes, including the Lakota and Cheyenne, used Echinacea for centuries as one of their primary medicines for infections, wounds, and snake bites. It was among the most widely used medicinal plants on the continent before European settlers arrived. In the late 90s, Echinacea became a commercial phenomenon. Then mixed study results arrived, and the mainstream moved on. The problem? Early research was studying the wrong compounds. The ones that matter most aren't the polysaccharides. They're the alkylamides, concentrated in the plant's roots. Alkylamides enter the bloodstream within 20 minutes of ingestion. They bind to immune receptors, activating macrophages and natural killer cells under threat, and pulling back excessive inflammation when the threat passes. Not stimulation, regulation. Research published in 2024 confirmed antiviral efficacy against rhinovirus, the primary cause of the common cold, and antibacterial activity against Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. Echinacea purpurea thrives in zones 3 through 9, tolerates drought, and resists deer. Harvest the roots in year 2 or 3, when the compounds are most concentrated. For a tincture, cover chopped fresh root in 60% alcohol and steep 4 to 6 weeks in a cool, dark location. Take 1 to 2 milliliters at the first sign of illness, not as a daily supplement. Using it constantly dulls the very response you're trying to activate. The last plant on this list is the one most people walk past without noticing. That's a mistake. Lemon balm, the quiet powerhouse. Lemon balm looks like a weed. Soft, serrated leaves, a mild lemon scent, small white flowers in summer. Most people walk past it. A 2024 review in the journal Nutrients analyzed its effects across multiple clinical trials. The findings: it exhibits anxiolytic and antidepressant properties, improves cognitive performance, and enhances sleep quality. The mechanism is specific. Rosmarinic acid, lemon balm's primary active compound, inhibits the enzyme that breaks down GABA. GABA is the brain's primary calming neurotransmitter. When that enzyme slows, GABA accumulates. Less tension, less rumination, a more natural path to sleep. Through the same neurotransmitter system as prescription anxiolytics, without the dependency. In elderly patients with mild cognitive impairment, standardized extracts stabilized cognitive function and reduced agitation over time. Grow it in containers. It spreads like peppermint. It tolerates partial shade better than any other herb on this list, making it useful in spots where nothing else will grow. Harvest the leaves in the morning, before heat drives off the essential oils. For tea, steep 2 teaspoons of dried leaves for 10 minutes. Pair with chamomile for sleep or lavender for anxiety. For a tincture, use a 40% alcohol base and steep 3 to 4 weeks. Of all 7 plants in this video, lemon balm is the most likely to surprise you. It just tends to work, quietly and without much ceremony. Your garden is already a medicine cabinet. 7 plants, each one with centuries of documented use, each one with active compounds that modern science has identified, studied, and in most cases confirmed. None of them replace serious medical care, not one. But all of them are real. All of them are growable in a container on a windowsill, a patch of backyard soil, or a small balcony. Aloe vera for skin and immune support, peppermint for digestion, rosemary for memory and scalp health, lavender for anxiety and sleep, chamomile for calm, echinacea for immune defense at the onset of illness, lemon balm for the nervous system and stress. Start with one. Grow it well. Learn how to use it properly. Then add the next. The relationship between humans and these plants predates recorded history by tens of thousands of years. It didn't survive that long by accident. If this video gave you something useful, subscribe. We cover natural health and herbal medicine backed by real science every week. And the next video covers a common kitchen herb that research has shown rivals some of the most widely prescribed medications for cholesterol and blood sugar. You almost certainly have it in your kitchen right now.